Hey, what's going on, DDO players? Axel here. So, today we're going to talk about some interesting data from PlayerAudit.com regarding class selection in DDO and class popularity. So, as you can see on the screen here, there is a bar graph that has been presented here on the website. And if you don't know how the site works, it compiles data from the game. So, it pulls data from the game and then presents the data in a series of bar graphs, line graphs, pie charts, all kinds of cool stuff we can look at. So, some interesting takeaways from this is that if you want to know the short version, it looks like Rogue is the most popular class just based on this data. But a couple caveats we have to go over first. The data presents the class popularity here by percentage of players playing on the server. So if you don't really understand how the data is being presented, it could be a little bit misleading. This is not raw data. So for example, it treats on this graph, it treats, say, servers like Wayfinder and Thelanis the same, even though they have vastly different populations. Wayfinder being by far the least populated server in the game right now, and Thelanis being the most popular because it's the default server. This one doesn't take that into account. It just presents data by percentage of players playing the class. So if the data was presented just in a raw format, then we might have some different answers here. So just keep that in mind. Also, the data here is just for the last week. So if we were to be presented the data for, say, the past 6 months or the past year, we would probably see a little bit different story. So just keep those things in mind. This is just popularity as of the past week. So that said, a couple of takeaways we can take from this graph here. Okay, as I said before, Rogue appears to be the most popular class right now. It's followed closely here by Paladin, Ranger, Wizard, Fighter, and Cleric. It's not too surprising to see that all of the most popular classes are the free-to-play classes. Makes sense. If you have to pay to play a class, that means there's a paywall there. Less players are going to be willing to do that. A lot of the player base in DDO is going to be players that are just new players, so they're not really going to be willing to pay for a new class, and that's fine. So that's to be expected. As far as the least popular classes, the least popular class appears to be Alchemist, followed by Favored Soul, Druid, and Monk. Another couple of cool takeaways here. Artificer. So Artificer has this outlier here with a hardcore population. So each of these bars, as I said before, presents a different server here. So the yellow is hardcore. So look at how popular Artificer is on hardcore compared to its popularity on other servers. Makes sense in some ways. In some ways, I'm a bit surprised. I'm a bit surprised because Artificer is not a free-to-play class, it's a paid class, and while it is a class you can unlock, for purposes on hardcore, you really have to, practically, you're going to have to buy it. I suppose it's technically possible for you to run one hardcore character, unlock the Cane of Favor to unlock Artificer, and then start another one to get it for free, but practically you're going to have to pay for Artificer if you want to run it on hardcore and start from level 1. So a little surprised that so many people are picking it just because of that reason, is you have to pay for it, but on the other hand, it makes sense. Artificer is a great solo class, particularly Warforged Artificer, and one of the biggest threats on hardcore is traps. So running a class like Artificer that can self-heal because it's Warforged with repair spells, that can get traps so you don't die from traps, and that can do safe range damage makes a lot of sense. It seems like a really good playstyle for hardcore. A few other surprises. I am surprised that Alchemist is so unpopular despite being the newest class. You'd expect the newest class to have more people playing it, though as I mentioned before, it's very possible that if you looked back 6 months, a year, looked at prior data, you would probably see a vastly different picture because probably a lot of players played Alchemist to get the past life and have since moved on to other classes, or players have tried out Alchemist and have not yet played it. It's also possible that new classes are expensive, so a lot of players might be holding out on Alchemist for a sale. So it's not, I guess in that respect, it's not. You can find some reasons why it's at least not as popular as it was, but still, it's a bit surprising to me that it isn't a little bit more popular, being DDO's newest class. I'm not too surprised that Druid and Favored Soul aren't popular. From my experience, people tend to play Cleric over Favored Soul. And Druid's kind of a niche class. It's very different, sort of like Alchemist in that way, and just Druid's just very different in terms of its play style and its forms and things. So I'm not that surprised there. Druid, for whatever reason, seems to be somewhat of a rare class from my experiences. The last thing I'm a little surprised about is Sorcerer. Sorcerer is actually the second least popular of the free classes, right behind Bard, which Bard seems to be actually about. You can actually, they're about the same, really. Bard and Sorcerer are about the same in terms of popularity here. So I'm a little bit surprised Sorcerer is not more popular, particularly Fire Sorcerer with Tiefling is quite a strong build right now. I guess Tiefling, though, being paid kind of makes that a little less appealing in terms of overall popularity, but still, Sorcerer is a really good class right now. So I'm surprised it's this much less popular than, say, Wizard, for example. Though Wizard with the Pale Master Pass, maybe that's why more players are playing it right now. Although it's been a while since the Pale Master Pass, so I don't know. I'm still a little bit surprised Sorcerer is not a little more popular in terms of the free-to-play classes. So guys, that's going to be it for my takeaways and my thoughts on this. So guys, let me know what you think about this graph here, about popularity, and I would be interested in reading your comments as always. So guys, that's going to be it for this video. I'll see you next time. Have a good one and take care.